So what is this enormous opera all about? Essentially, it's the sacred against the profane. The overture begins with the wonderful theme of the pilgrims on their slow progress towards Rome. Straightforward harmonies, an elegance about it, and a sincere, devout faith. At the end of that first section of the overture, slowly the theme disappears. We hear the pilgrims disappear into the distance, and a new theme arrives. What's that theme about? Put the chord together. To me, that sounds like love you, and that is the theme of Venusberg, where we start the opera. The famous knight Tannhäuser has left all his colleagues in Wartburg and gone off to the underworld of Venusberg, where sensuality and sexual delight are all the rage. He sings a very heroic aria to Venus herself. Die Wunder gilt gepriesen. Very heroic, very honourable, old-fashioned German art. And we hear the Venus music arrive. And against fluttering flutes, she sings, Geliebter, komm, my beloved, come. And underneath that, seductive harmonies, and she entices him back to the bed. But he needs to break away. He's loved this place, but he needs fresh air, a bit of spring. He needs to hear the nightingale, and finally he escapes. He meets up with his colleagues from Wartburg, and they say, are you going to still fight us, or are we all friends again? They restore, and the companionship comes, and so we move from the first to the second act, and we move to the court of Wartburg. Very sincere, very heroic, very regulated society. Honest and true, and we hear the wonderful, wonderful niece of the Landgraf, Elizabeth, sing her first phrase, to you, O hall, I greet thee. Honest and true and devout. She's the most wonderful woman. A song contest takes place where 3 knights sing for the hand of Elizabeth. And while that goes on, all is going well. Tannhäuser finally has his chance to sing and sings very eloquently and suddenly starts singing about Venusberg. And that is like blaspheming to the court. We hear this chord. You are accursed. You have brought filth into our beloved hall. There's no excuse. The Landgraf sends him on a pilgrimage to Rome to try and cure his soul of all this filth. And while he's away, 2 people are waiting for him. First, Elizabeth, who we see later on almost nun-like now, very, very faithful, singing to the Almighty Maria. Sincere, honest and true. And also waiting for him is another of the knights who is in the singing contest, who sings one of the greatest arias in the entire operatic repertoire. O du mein holder Abendstern, wohl grüß ich immer dich so gern. Simplicity, and then the cellos answer him. Everybody waits the return of Tannhäuser. After this long pilgrimage, he's been to Rome, and now he returns to Wartburg. And what do we hear? Horns. And listen to that interval. The satanic interval in music. All is not well. In a long aria he recounts he went on the pilgrimage with all goodness to try and rid himself of this filth of Venusberg. And he goes before the Pope And the Pope screams out of him, "Hast du so böse Lust geteilt?" And goes on and on. And finally the Pope says, "You are forever cursed." And we hear that damnation chord again. There is no resolution, and both Elizabeth and Tannhäuser die, and we're left finally with the pilgrims singing one more time the theme that opened the opera. Yes, it's 4 hours long. But have you read Dickens's Bleak House? Have you read Tolstoy's War and Peace? These are big, big columns of the European heritage. This piece hasn't been performed in Portugal since 1993. You need to come and see it. Enjoy Wagner's Tannhäuser.